The first step to success is doing and submitting work consistently. If I can get you to engage, then it is likely you will see success. If you see success, you will continue to engage. It's addicting. There are a bunch of different ways that I support students. The most obvious, and one that I've done forever, is to offer extra help. I make myself available as much as possible before and after school, during lunch, often during a class period when I'm not teaching. But the strategies that I've put in place since beginning to use the learning progression method that I'd like to talk about now are goal setting, score tracking, and conferencing. In addition to and in conjunction with the goal setting, students also track their progress over the long term. Because the grading program in Genesis only shows scores from the current unit, it's not possible to see previous scores on that application. Therefore, it can be difficult for students and parents and guidance counselors to see patterns. This form is provided to students at the beginning of the year. I usually do it on a special color like orange, so it's easy to find. And students, you're responsible for completing it. There are 5 sections: labs, checkpoints, content mastery checkpoints, projects, and conferencing. As discussed in part 4 of this video series, scores on the first 4 categories are used to determine grades at the end of the year. Recall that labs are used to assess the 4 practices: experimental design, data analysis, arguing a claim, and using feedback. So this allows students to record their scores on each lab report that they do. In addition, there's a minimum number of lab reports that you must complete in order to do what we consider enough practice. This is tailored to the course, with physics students required to complete 16 and honors physics 18 out of about 20 or 21 formal lab reports. This allows you to miss a few without any ramifications. Checkpoints include quizzes and unit tests. Students receive feedback on the practices creating explanations, problem solving, and creating graphs and interpreting graphs. All unit tests are mandatory. As described in part 4 of this video series, content mastery checkpoints are specifically designed to help students learn the vocabulary and specialized terminology for my class. Each contains 6 to 8 questions pulled from a 50-item question bank that's taken weekly. While our classes stress the importance of skills versus content, one cannot apply knowledge unless one knows the content. That's what this is all about, and scores are used in the engaging with content practice. All content mastery checkpoints are mandatory, although you can opt out of attempt 5 if you earn 100% on attempt 4. Lastly, students record their scores on their project, engaging with content and the engineering design process. All projects are mandatory. And note, we will discuss this last section shortly. I recommend doing this weekly. Initially, I'm going to provide time to complete it during class, but transition to giving reminders only. Parents and guidance counselors, please ask the student to show you their score tracking log. It's a great way to see how they're doing. Students are invited to conference with me one-on-one to get advice, accountability, and understanding. But you can also use it to talk to your parents and guidance counselors as a visual aid to explain how you are doing.